Academic philosophy in his era was shifting toward logic and language analysis, but Ross's passion stayed firmly rooted in moral philosophy. He wanted ethics to connect with the experience of ordinary people, not just abstract arguments or clever calculations. Throughout his years at Oxford, Ross taught and wrote with integrity and patience, never seeking fame or controversy. Instead, he contributed quietly, even translating and editing Aristotle's works, helping generations rediscover ancient wisdom. At the center of Ross's thinking is his theory of intuitionism, not a vague appeal to gut feelings, but a structured belief that humans can recognize basic moral obligations instinctively, shaped by reason and experience. He argued that real life is too complex to be summed up by one single moral rule or ultimate outcome, a stance that stood apart from both utilitarianism, which focuses on happiness for the greatest number, and Kantian ethics, which follows strict exceptionalist rules. Instead, Ross proposed that we face conflicting responsibilities. Promises to friends might clash with urgent needs of strangers, and both matter. His key contribution was the concept of prima facie duties. These are moral obligations that seemed right at first glance, like telling the truth or showing gratitude, but sometimes must be weighed against other duties, such as protecting someone from harm. Our moral lives, Ross believed, demand attention and wisdom, not just rule following or calculations about happiness. The list he offered includes fidelity, reparation, gratitude, justice, beneficence, self-improvement, and non-maleficence. In every situation, the challenge is to judge which duty is most important, knowing that you can't always fulfill them all at once. Ross's idea of juggling multiple valid duties feels closer to real life than many other ethical systems. When parents weigh work against family, doctors decide treatment priorities, or friends struggle between honesty and loyalty, they're living in the world Ross described. He saw that moral life isn't simple. Sometimes we can act rightly, even when it's impossible to do everything perfectly. His most famous book, The Right and the Good, lays out this pluralistic view. Ross insists that morality can't be reduced to a single rule or formula. Balancing duties takes practical judgment and reflection, a way of thinking that has quietly influenced modern theories about moral pluralism, virtue ethics, and moral psychology. Ross's approach has shaped how philosophers and professionals think about ethical dilemmas, even if his name remains relatively unknown outside universities. Modern fields like medicine, law, and leadership often mirror his framework, weighing confidentiality against safety, loyalty against fairness, or the needs of many against the promise to one. His humility and focus on genuine moral reasoning, rather than ideology, helped revive interest in character and practical wisdom. He offered a middle path between moral absolutism, which rigidly enforces one rule in every case, and relativism, which treats morality as just personal opinion. Ross argued that we share a basic, intuitive, moral knowledge shaped through history. Most people agree that promise-keeping, helping others, and avoiding harm matter, even if we sometimes disagree over which duty takes priority. Ross's method respects both the conscious and the complexities of human life. He suggests we approach moral questions with patience, asking what competing duties might be in play rather than rushing to judge right and wrong. His thought connects back to Aristotle's idea of practical wisdom and shows that moral clarity comes through careful reflection, not rigid dogma or quick reactions. Even today, when ethical debates often get oversimplified into slogans or utility metrics, Ross's work stands as a reminder that morality is plural and nuanced, but real truths exist. He believed the greatest strength of humanity is the ability to think morally with honesty and care. The lesson he leaves is both timeless and humble. Integrity is found not in perfect rules, but in earnestly weighing what matters. So if you ever face a tough choice, remember Ross's prima facie duties. Ask yourself which obligations are at stake and which should come first. Moral maturity, according to Ross, means wrestling honesty with hard decisions, knowing that reflection, not certainty, is what makes us ethical. That insight may be just what our age needs most. Thank you and have a good day.